Welcome to JD's Prep. In this problem, we are given the graph of two functions on the same set of axes, f of x and g of x. We are asked about the solutions to the equation f of x equals g of x. And we want to know if they are given on the graph by the x-intercepts, the y-intercepts, the x values of the points of intersection, or the y values of the points of intersection. Now, if we're looking at the graph of any number of equations, the x-intercepts are always going to be the points on the x-axis where the graph touches or crosses that line. Those are going to be the solutions to the equation f of x equals 0, or g of x equals 0, or whatever your function name ends up being. Those don't necessarily have anything to do with the equation f of x equals g of x. They can occur at very different points x, since they're two separate equations. So our x-intercepts are not going to be where the solutions to the equation f of x equals g of x are occurring. The y-intercepts, these are always giving you the y-coordinate for things like f of 0, g of 0, and so on. Because we set x equal to 0 to make sure that we have a point on the y-axis, and then find out by plugging into each function where that's going to occur. So that also is not going to have anything to do with the equation f of x equals g of x. So that leaves us with the two coordinates for the points of intersection. And anytime you set two functions equal to one another, you're always looking at where their graphs are going to intersect, because you want both their x coordinates and their y coordinates to be the same. Right? With the equation f of x equals g of x, if we are looking for a solution, right, to that equation, the x's, you're going to have the same x coordinate. And then the f of x and g of x, those are going to be your y coordinates for the point. So for solutions to that equation, you're going to get points where both the x and the y coordinates are the same for the two functions, which is why this is occurring at the points of intersection. The real question here is, which one of those two are we referring to by the solutions to the equation? And the answer to that is that we are looking for the x coordinates where this equality happens. Once we have the x coordinates where this equality happens, we are guaranteed at that point to have the y coordinates be the same. So whenever we are looking solutions to one of these types of equations, we are always looking for the x coordinate values. So the x values of the points of intersection will give us the solutions to the equation f of x equals g of x, telling us where this equality happens.